second. And then, yeah. So when you click, I will type, oh, Alvin, thank you. Yeah, you are familiar with basic language. Yeah. Yeah, 10, 20, 30, 40, and then even then someone can include 11, 12, like, and so on. Okay, then I will type a URL. The typed URL should work, I believe. And then, okay, yeah, you should see this site when you click the URL. And then I prepared 3 collections. One is the general introduction to Linux on Azure. So then I don't want to deep dive into what is Linux or how Azure supports very well, because it is not for marketing. So, but yeah, your seeing would be really great. But let me quickly check with by seeing those kind of questions. For example, then let's see the first question. Which of the following best describes Linux infrastructure as a service? Yeah, one thing, this is for infrastructure as a service for Linux on Azure. Which one would be correct? Who can answer on the chat window? I'm not sure. And then if I am leading a offline workshop, then I should, yeah, I really would like to give some swags, but this is for online workshop, so I'm not sure how to give. So anyway, then for the correct answer, guys, and then please visit Microsoft booth just after this workshop. So then I want to find how I can share more thoughts and how we can communicate more like that. But which one would be correct answer? Then can someone write, choose the answer, A, B, C, D? And then someone might think, then for example, then this would be distributed multi-tenant. But however, that I want to say then the answer would be this: a set of Microsoft data center services that can host and manage your hardware infrastructure. It is general definition on infrastructure as a service. And also, then which of the following Azure services is a platform as a service that can host Linux applications? Actually, then it is not related to today's session, but Azure App Service is the service to host your front-end applications. And which of the following is not the benefit of using an Android Linux distribution on Azure? Then what would be answer? I'm not really sure, but yeah, let's choose randomly. So I think it might be C or D, because yeah, but I'm not sure about them. Let's first choose D, but yeah, it should be C, because then programming languages don't have to be land on a specific programming word. So like that, so you can also you can check and answer like this quiz, but I want to more deep dive into on SQL Server on Linux. So hope that or click this URL for your self-control lab. This is a site for Microsoft to run, and one great thing for you is that you can do self-control lab. For example, that it explains then what is SQL Server on Linux. So on introduction, then you can see that the general introduction on Ubuntu server, SQL Server on Linux, and also then the detailed explanations on SQL Server on Ubuntu, and then you can also see detailed comment. But one great thing for you is that when I click continue, and then you can see this kind of exercise link. And then one prerequisite for you is that you need to log in with Microsoft credential. And then you should experience this Microsoft run and then you can activate this sandbox. For example, then I will quickly go through mainly three exercises. One is this, and the second one is the how to install SQL Server on Linux on the on with your container, and third one is the how you can experience for min stack. But yeah, for example, then when you go to exercise on Microsoft Learn for the first time, then you might see such kind of things. You might need to activate sandbox. Then after you activate, it might take a little bit time, but you should see like this Azure Cloud Shell. And then yeah, it is for free. For example, then yeah, you can this is a command to for you to execute how to create a Azure virtual machine on for Linux Ubuntu server on the top of Azure cloud. And for user interfaces, and then it might be like this. So that if you go to portal.azure.com, and then you need to change your Active Directory. For example, then this should not be default for your Azure portal account, but you can click this and click switch directory, and then you can see like this. For example, then currently then Microsoft is my favorite and default for internal development and testing. But however, then you can easily find other Azure Active Directory like Microsoft Learn Sandbox, and then you should see such kind of resource group, and then you can double check. For example, then when I click this, and then I need to double check first, and then whether this B8E is the same as this or not. And then yeah, it should be same. So then when I just click copy and paste, and then yeah, it exports first Ubuntu password by executing OpenSSL command to make a random password, and then it applies to Ubuntu virtual machine creation, and then it might take a little bit time. So it usually then it should be created less than 1 to 2 minutes, but everyone can experience. So then you can experience like that. And then yeah, after waiting, then you should see that on this Azure portal. Then for example, when I click refresh, and then now then there are not since resource is being created, and I cannot find the resource right now, but let me wait and then double check, and then let me enlarge this URL site, and then click X, and then click learn again, and then yeah, like this, I can see more resources. So then a kind of related resources like public IP address or network security group or virtual network, those things are being created right now. And then I finally see that Ubuntu server has been created on the Azure portal. And then this is the result on Azure Cloud Shell. So it has been successfully created. And then, for example, then let me double check by clicking Ubuntu server. And then this virtual machine has been successfully created like this. And then this is the IP address, but yeah, how to connect this virtual machine, then I just copy let me first copy this command. Actually, then you should see that this is an IP address, but Azure Cloud Shell is really great. AZEP is a command line interface, and then you can extract just the IP address field by calling public IPs like that, and then for example, then when I execute echo IP address, and then I can see then this is my IP address, and then I will also execute Ubuntu password, but please don't connect to my virtual machine right now at the moment. But anyway, then after then I can connect with Ubuntu password. But ideally, usually then creating connecting to your virtual machine with SSH public key is really encouraged. But now then, yeah, MS Learn is designed for all the people, so that it seems that password is now explained for simple usage. But also the how to install SQL Server is really simple. The first one is that you can just include a apt key, and then also you can add apt repository for SQL Server on Linux, and then you can do apt or the apt get update all the comments, but yeah, but you can even execute apt update, and then you can execute apt install MS SQL Server. Usually, then for MySQL users, then most people have been using MySQL server, but this is for Microsoft SQL Server on the top of Linux. So then, yeah, uh, this is how to install Microsoft SQL Server on the top of Linux. And then after installation, then you can just configure this SQL Server and connect. But let me copy and paste this password because then I will also use this once more. So where is the password? Okay. Temporary copy and paste on somewhere. Hopefully this works. Yeah. Oh yeah, SQL Server has been successfully installed. And then yeah, I can configure my SQL Server using this command. And then for your first trial, then you can just choose evaluation edition. So this should be fine. But however, then you can even choose developer edition or other paid editions if you really think that SQL Server is really great. But yeah, let me choose just one. And then for license, then I should agree. And then for password, then I will use a initial password. And then, yeah, SQL Server should be successfully installed. And then, okay. So when I execute systemctl command, and then now SQL Server is running very well. So, and also the how to install SQL Server tools, and then it is very simple. So yeah, please click. Yeah. And then yeah, this is also for how to add a repository for SQL Server tools. SQL Server tool is a command, SQL CMD command line tool to connect to SQL Server on your Linux distribution. Or for example, Ubuntu desktop or any kind of server Linux or for Linux. And then also then I need to execute apt update, and also then I can install SQL Server command line tool. After then yeah, I'm accepting license terms, and then this should be installed also very well. And okay, then the final command is for setting additional password or any kind of command environment for path execution to add to path. So now then SQL Server has been successfully installed, and then how can I test? It's very simple. So it is just to check to make sure the SQL Server is running very well. So I don't have to to execute again because it should be already executed. But anyway, then when I go click, and then when I copy and paste SQL CMD, and then the source is server host name is localhost, and then SA is default super admin, and password is what I set for password, initial password. So, and then you can execute any kind of command. For example, show databases. Those commands might be a little bit different, but however, then yeah, it is also very supported for SQL Server on Linux, and also then even I can create a database. For example, then when I create Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot executing Go. Usually, then you should use show databases and execute Go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe then I used MySQL server command. But anyway, then yeah, I will execute. Oh, yeah. Database already created. Oh, yeah. Database has been already created with this. Okay, then let me copy this command, and then I execute Go, and then yeah, database is successfully created. Then how to use this database, and then usually then use byte word one Go should be fine, and then from now then I'm using this database, and then I can create table like that, ID, name, varchar. Maybe I forgot. I'm create table. Table name should be test, and then go. Okay, show tables. From test. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then, anyway, then maybe then DSC then test should work. Yeah. Maybe then yeah. I almost forgot lots of detailed comment on SQL Server, but yeah, I used SQL Server about 10 years ago. I almost forgot many comments, but however, all the comments supported from Windows, SQL Server, Windows-based SQL Server, should support it very well. So the select should work. Also, the insert or update delete should work. And also then this is the basic demonstration then how I install SQL Server on Linux. But I also want to explain that you can even install SQL Server on using container. And then so for example the how to use, and then first you also need to create a Ubuntu virtual machine for testing purpose. But I already created, so let's skip. Just and then I need to install Docker engine. So then how to do that? Maybe then I found it. I should also connect. IP address should not be here. So let me execute, and then let me execute again. And then it should ask password, and then I already copied password and paste the password. It should work. Oh, paste. Hope that works. Okay, then I connected to Ubuntu virtual machine, and then yeah, just one note is that it is for this Ubuntu version is Ubuntu 18, but let me test by installing Docker. And then I can install Docker, and then I can also add repository, and then I just can execute Ubuntu apt update. And then I just need to install Docker Community Edition. Docker Community Edition is free, and then it is for open source development, so it should work. But I heard that recently that Docker desktop license has been changed, so therefore very near future then you might not have to, you might don't want to use Docker desktop, but Docker Community Edition should be also supported for free for you. Anyway, then how you can use Docker, and then generally then Docker, first you need to check whether Docker engine is really running very well or not. And then actually then Docker engine is, you can find Docker engine on this URL, MCR. MCR is Microsoft Container Registry. Yeah, Ro is right. Podman is an alternative. Yeah, you're right. So then you can download from Microsoft Container Registry. Usually then many people are aware that Docker also supports Docker registry, but however then Microsoft also supports Container Registry on the top of Azure, and then also then other cloud providers also support similar container registries. So then I can download from this container registry for the recent latest edition for SQL Server on Linux. And then I can just download the image, pull the image, and then yeah, and then I can just execute Docker command, Docker by executing this command. Uh, During installation, I will simply explain. The first command is then license agreement. And the second command is then for your service super admin or service admin password. And third one is that you are using the same image you are downloading. After then you are executing. After you execute this command, then an interactive shell will be appeared, and then it will be inside SQL Server on Linux on the top of Docker container. So that it is a containerized application, so that it supports all kinds of isolation from your main Ubuntu OS distribution, and also then it can be replicated very easily to other cloud environment or your on-premise or other kind of distribution deployment environment. So and then let me copy and paste the comment, and then okay, yeah, the Docker should be run. So when I execute sudo docker ps, and then I can clearly see that this Docker is running, and then sudo docker image list, and then yeah, I clearly see that this image has been downloaded. So let's execute this by connecting to this image using -it. It is for interactive option. So then I can go inside this container. For example, then when I execute cat etc issue, it is for Ubuntu 20. But however, then as I initially said, currently then I installed Ubuntu 18. So containerized environment supports very well on the top of from the isolation from your environment. Thank you, Ro. You should be more accurate. I interactive and T is terminal TTY. Right. So then this is the bash environment, and then SQL Server has been already installed on the top of containers. So then I can also then SQL command tool has been already installed. So let me connect to SQL Server, and then it also shows this interactive line. So then I can execute the same command, and then this database has been created. One note is that I separately created previously on SQL Server on Linux running on Ubuntu host machine, but however, this is container environment and it is fully isolated. So that's why two SQL Server instances on the same Linux virtual machine can be possible while using this container. And also then I can test by executing, then currently then there are some additional system databases, and the wide world one has been successfully created like that. And then when I click create, and then it goes out, and then when I execute exit, it goes to Ubuntu server. So this is the brief explanation that how you can do also your self-hands-on workshop. So then please go to, as I said, this URL aka.ms/run Azure at UbuCon Asia. And then you should experience those kind of SQL Server on Linux environment. And if you have any questions, and then you can post to this chat window, and even then after this workshop, then I will go to get a town, and then I will stay on English booth. So then please come and you can tell any kind of questions to me. And also then finally then I want to more highlight, and there are also other module on Microsoft Learn how you can experience mean stack. Mean stack is M is MongoDB, and M is MongoDB, and E would be what would be. So let's go to I see. And then this has been finished. So then let me click this and then go to here. So what is mean stack? So when first time then you should think more than whether mean stack is web stack would be really right to you or not. Traditionally, the many people have been using relational database, but however now then more people are using NoSQL, which is not relational SQL database. And also then, for example, then MongoDB supports very well for JSON format. So then just using your JSON format on your front-end application like Node.js with AngularJS, and also then Express for your front-end environment. Thank you. But relational database, NoSQL should be interesting. So then many people are using many different database platforms for so many different regions. So then today then I just wanna focus on mean stack, MongoDB, Express, AngularJS, and Node.js. And then this should be easy. So for you then just you can click continue, and then it also requires to recreate reactivate sandbox, because this sandbox environment and the previous sandbox environment for this should be different. So for example, when I need to activate this sandbox, and then it requires more time, but it verifies lots of details, and then after then I might not see the existing Learn sandbox, or then new resources would be recreated like that. So let's wait a little bit time, and then you might see that what new resource group has been created for your another sandbox exercise environment. So let me refresh, and then still this resource group is same, but however then when I go to this resource, and then like see, then no access is possible. So let me go to resource group again, and then refresh. Maybe, or then I should I should click switch directory, and then currently I'm using Learn sandbox, but let me find Learn and all directories, and then maybe it has not been refreshed very well, so let's test. Let me test later, but usually then for sandbox access, then it needs to this is another sandbox. I just want to highlight that this sandbox environment are different for your existing sandbox. For example, that this is no more previous sandbox is not accessible anymore. So then this sandbox environment is really great for you to experience many things. Okay, let me reswitch directory, and then click all directories, and then switch Learn sandbox again. And then after waiting time, then Azure portal has should come again, and then you should see then there are new different environment. For example, when I click resource group, And then, new resource group has been created. It is different from your traditional previous resource group name. So, and then there is no resource. So then, you can create your virtual machine again and again. And so then this hands-on material is a little bit different, but however, then this is sample command, and also then this is to applying the resource group of default provided by default for this sandbox environment. So then you can create your virtual machine on the top of Linux using this argument, and then this exercise will create Ubuntu 16 virtual machine. And then also then this option is to generate a SSH key to access this virtual machine server. So please leverage to use this command because the access would be more secure. After then, about time flies, so only about 10 minutes are left. So then let me quickly explain how this self-hands-on lab goes. And this is for end-to-end. For example, after creating your virtual machine, and then you need to open a port 80 to see your website on the by connecting from your client side. So then this is how to open a port number, and also then this should get IP address, public IP address, as I previously mentioned, and then you can connect to SQL Server and Ubuntu server. So okay, let me quickly just open the port number. Maybe then some guy cannot access, but the screen is being shared, so then other people are seeing my screen very well. So please check your client side, or please use different web browser. Anyway, then for IP address, and then I can also figure out IP address, and then I can connect to Azure virtual machine, and then I can continue to install MongoDB. So then I will skip what MongoDB is. So but generally then how to install MongoDB is same, just then upgrading and then install MongoDB, and then you should see the status like that. And then for Node.js installation, then there are two ways. One is to install long-term support edition like Ubuntu 16.04 or 18.04 or 20.04. But you can even use other latest Node.js version like Ubuntu 20.10 or like that. So the Node.js command can be installed by by downloading this shell script, and then you can execute. Or then you might see that there are several ways you can install Node.js, but this exercise installs a your Node.js version, your Node.js using old version of Node.js. But it should be it should be fine for this exercise. After then you can install your basic web application. Then the target is to install like this web application. So then you might see the details on how Express works to work as a Node.js backend server, and also the AngularJS is to communicate between this Express and then your front-end HTML through JavaScript. And then you might see more details, but however then there are many source files. So then also then there are lots of source files already mentioned, and then also then you can see and then copy and paste this source file. And then actually then what I just would like to tell is, okay, so this is package.json to make sure that all the version is for the target version. So, and also then those are synced with JSON file using JavaScript with Ajax. And also then this is for how to communicate with REST API. And also then those are API skeleton or details, then how to interact with HTML requests through REST APIs. And finally, then this is how to manage MongoDB with MongoDB. So then MongoDB will be installed in local environment on this Ubuntu environment. Okay, yeah, it has been connected, and then it will be installed and it will open a internal port number like this, and then without creating or declaring any kind of database skeleton, and then you should insert and then select any kind of details like that. So like this. So yeah, and then you should see this experience very well, and then hope that all people are following very well. And then if you have any problems or any issues or any questions, and then after then, please come to Microsoft booth and gather town. And also then finally, then thank you for especially organizers who have been preparing or organizing this UbuCon Asia 2021. And then I'm a little bit sad that we could not still see in offline, but I'm very glad to see that many people are here. So it's very great. And finally, then please subscribe Microsoft Source newsletter. Then you can go to this site, ms source APEC. Then you should see more open source stories on Microsoft regularly by subscribing this newsletter. So, and thank you for attending this workshop, and hope you enjoyed. And then please also enjoy other sessions. And then, thank you all. Bye.